Hello, my name is Siska Febriana Sitompul with student ID number 221073204, and today I will explain about my understanding about the continuation topic of last week material topic, which the discourse and conversation part 2. So in this continuation material, we have 7 learning focus, which are the key concept of conversation analysis, the transcription convention, turn taking, adjacency pairs, prevalent organization, overlap, and repair. So as we learned last week in the discourse and conversation part 1, we know that conversation analysis is the study of everyday spoken discourse where people manage to interact between the people. Moreover, it's also focused on how social relations are developed through the use of spoken discourse. Um, and conversation analysis also works with recording of the spoken data, because the data of the conversation analysis itself is the conversation. So the researchers need to record the data and then use it as the material to do the research later on. As I already mentioned in my discourse and conversation part 1 video, the conversation analysis study is first introduced in 1960s at the University of California, Los Angeles, and the researchers define the conversation analysis as an approach to the study of social action, which leads to investigate social order as it was produced through the practices of everyday talk. Conversation analysis was mainly to analyze the spoken discourse through the telephone calls, but it was enlarged to be several ways, such as like doctor and patient consultation, the activity during the class, the activities in courtrooms or legal hearings, new interviews, or maybe like psychiatric interviews and interaction. So the thing that is unique in conversation analysis is the even though that conversation analysis is the study of linguistics, but it only took less of the linguistic study itself, because it's more focused on the social construct, which recognized by the speakers as they take part in the conversation discourse every day. So the key concepts of the conversation analysis are: the first one is the view of the ordinary conversation is as the most basic form of talk. So in conversation analysis, the conversation is the way to bring people together to exchange information from one person to another person, to negotiate and to maintain social relations, or maintain family relations, friendships, or etc. And the second key concept is the primacy of the data as the source of information. So in conversation analysis, the use of this data represent the categories represent the idealization of how spoken discourse work. So it more focuses on the analysis of the text for its argumentation or explanation, rather than the consideration of the psychological aspects that involve in the discourse. So it more like as it is like the part of linguistic studies, so it's not really take too many part of the psychological aspect. They tend to be linear with linguistic, as they only like analyze the text for the argumentation and the explanation. And the aim of conversation analysis is to not make assumption about like analytical categories in the analysis of conversational data, but it rather looks on the phenomena that occur in the data and make the further investigation. And the second topic is the transcription convention. So in conversation analysis, like the transcription also considered as an analysis. So the texts, which are the recordings of the spoken language, uh, then analyzed at the same time as they transcribe. So in this way, like the analysis aims to understand of how speakers manage their conversational interactions. And in transcription convention, it is usually to put the stress on the words that are spoken by the speakers or the participant of the conversation. Like for example, the upward arrow is the symbol to symbolize a high-pitched sound. For example, like at the end of the sentence there are upward arrow, that means like the speaker sets high-pitched notes. So when it says like get out from my room, and then there is onward arrow, so it's like go out from my room, just like that. Or the use of capitalization, for example in the word like go now. So the now that is capitalized is the bold, is to bold the word that are spoken by the speakers. And the next topic is turn taking. As the name itself, turn taking, it just means like how people take their turn, take their turn when they speak in a forum. For example, like how the first speaker speak, and then the next speaker speak, and then the next speaker speak, and etc etc etc. It's just like how they take their turns to speak, so they don't speak in unison, so they don't speak in the same time, so it doesn't create an overlap, because an overlap will be explained later on. So in turn taking itself, it's actually like it's not really when the first speaker and the next speaker have to respond to this first speaker. It also can be like if they want to move the topic, so they don't want to continue the conversation in prior, so they just need to say like anyway, or just like humming like so they can move the topic. And the next topic is adjacency pairs. So the adjacency pairs is the one of the most important unit of conversational organization, and a key way in which like meanings are communicated and interpreted in conversation. Like the adjacency pairs is it's been like the expected answers, or like how it's the first utterance and the second utterance is related to each other. Like the example is the conversation between the radio announcer and the caller. So when the radio announcer says like hello, who's there, and the caller said hello, it's me, I'm Clarissa, or and then the radio announcer says like okay, what song would you like to hear? And then the caller would say like, oh, I would like to hear When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars, etc. So like the answers is expected by the first speaker. In this case, the first speaker is the radio announcer. So and the second speaker, which is the caller, answers the exact way the first speaker wants to hear. In adjacency pairs, there are two parts. The first one is also adjacency pairs across cultures. This is related on how in each region the cultures is different. For example, like the difference culture between the French and the American. So when an American asks to a French guy about his weekends, the French guy will find it offensive, because in French, asking about weekend is considered as crossing the line to know about the other people privacies. But in America, it's apparently not that deep, so they lost in translation there. And the second type of adjacency pairs is the adjacency pairs and stage of conversation. It is just like how hello can be used in many functions, such as like to greet people on the street, or to greet people on the telephone, it's like hello. And the next word that can be used in this kind of adjacency pairs is thank you or thanks, that can be used in many functions as well. For example, as a response to a compliment, or a response to a congratulations, or as a response to an offer of a service. And the next one is the preferred organization. This is related on how we prefer something that is responded by the other speaker. So when I invite somebody to my birthday party, I would like them to say yes, because yes is an acceptance, and the no is the refusal. And the next topic is overlap, as I already mentioned in turn taking earlier. So overlap is the situation where people in the forum are speaking in unison, they're speaking at the same time, so it will create overlap. So we don't know which one to hear, we don't know who even hear our voices. So there's no point when there is overlap during the forum. And the last subtopic is repair. As the word itself, repair, it means to fix. So repair is the important strategy in spoken discourse, to repair or to repair or to fix what has been said before. So the words, for example, when people incorrectly pronounce my last name, which is Sitompul, and I would like to say sorry if it's Sitompul, it's Sitompul. I would like to fix my last name that they are incorrectly pronounced. Or when they pronounce something wrong, or set the different date, for example, and they would say like, I'm sorry, it's not Tuesday, it's Saturday, or something like that. So yeah, that's all that I can say in this material topic, which is discourse and conversation part 2. So yeah.